Warning, the following video contains bleeped out swear words, so if you're a badass who enjoys hearing the F word a lot, then I'm sorry to disappoint you. Guitar Hero. This is the game that started it all. For music games as a whole, I mean, there were other music games before it, but this game was revolutionary. It was the first game to introduce a guitar-shaped controller, which made you feel like a real rock star. Let's start from the beginning. Guitar Hero is a game that has you push different coloured buttons on the neck of your guitar controller. While pressing in the buttons, you push down or up on the strum bar.
See the 5 buttons on the neck of the guitar? They're the fret buttons. You hold one down to choose a note. Then to play the note you've chosen, use the strum bar.
This emulates how a real guitar works. The only difference is, you get the equivalent of only using one string. But at the end of the day, playing the game is a lot of fun for anyone. Even if you're not into rock music, this game is fun to play along to.
Sounding good.
Let's talk about the tutorial mode. It's very basic and tells you exactly how to play. Nothing more, nothing less. I have to give the game props though. The Guitar Hero franchise must be the only games to have a funny and entertaining tutorial mode.
Speaking of noise, did I ever tell you the time I was schlepping equipment from Metallica and I had to stand in for Kirk because he had some kind of stomach flu? He handed me his guitar saying, "You know this tune, right, dude?" Then he ran for backstage. I don't even know if he ever made it. But man, I got to rock on stage with Metallica.
The game has a wide variety of classic rock and modern rock songs, although bear in mind that most of the songs of the game are actually cover songs, and not the originals, but they still play and sound great. The difficulty of the songs depend on your choice of difficulty level. In Guitar Hero, you have the choice of 4 difficulties: easy, medium, hard, and expert. Each difficulty adds an extra button to your gameplay. Easy has 3 buttons, medium 4, and hard all 5. When you get to the expert level, you play 5 buttons, but the amount of notes is increased to the max. On expert, you really feel like you're a rock superstar. Okay, so I know this isn't really needed to talk about in the review, but the loading screen in this game is awesome! I really like the style of it. The 3 knobs on the amp moving individually, starting from the left one and ending on the right one. When they're done turning, the red light flashes. I love it! Also, the loading screen gives you handy tips and tricks on how to improve your playing, and sometimes offer history on the song that you're about to play. I feel like this wouldn't be a proper review if it didn't have some bad points. Which brings me to the hammer-ons of the game. What the f***? Okay, so I'm no professional at Guitar Hero, but I know for a fact I can hit these notes on later games. Usually in Guitar Hero games, the hammer-on system is actually not that bad. In the Rock Band games, the notes are insanely accurate that it won't give you a chance. And in Guitar Hero, they let you off. If you're a half a second off hitting the note, they count it anyway. The creators of Guitar Hero 1 are none other than Harmonix, who created the Rock Band games. All the later GH games are made by Activision, so I'm just gonna blame the poor design of the hammer-ons on Harmonix. I mean, seriously, what the f***? Oh, and before I move on, if you're wondering what hammer-ons are, they are notes you don't need to strum.
You hold down the green fret button and strum to play it as usual. But for the next note, while keeping the green held, press or hammer on the red fret button. No strumming needed. And again, now with the green and red held, hammer on that yellow fret button. You should try it. Nice. Yeah, you got it.
A few other bad points include the lack of practice mode. Where is it? It isn't there! The later games had a mode called Practice Mode, which allowed the user to pick a song and play it without failing. It included features which allowed you to play the song at a much slower speed to make it easier for you. Also, you could choose a section of the song to practice, so you didn't need to play through the whole song just to get up to the part that you suck at. Another bad point is that when you finish playing a song, it comes up with your stats. There isn't a more stats button like there is in the later games. The more stats gave the player more info on which sections they missed their notes on, how many notes there are in the song, as well as how many notes you hit. This game just doesn't have that option, but seeing as this is the very first Guitar Hero game, I can forgive that it is missing certain helpful features. Anyway, moving on to some more good points. In this game there are a few modes. Quick Play, which allows you to go in and pick a song of your choosing and start jamming away. Multiplayer is a local game which allows two people to battle each other in a face-off. There isn't much to say about this mode. It only has one game type, and that's face-off. You pick a difficulty which is the same for both players, which sucks, because if I wanted to play this with my dad, he plays on medium and I play on expert. I'd have to play on medium, or he'd have to play on expert and miss loads of notes. There's no way around it. Also, in this mode, you take it in turns hitting notes, which, in my opinion, I always hated. In later games, you're actually able to choose your own individual difficulty, and if you wanted to, you can play all the notes of the song instead of taking it in turns. This game doesn't have a very solid multiplayer, if I'm honest, but it was the first game of the franchise and was greatly improved in the multiplayer department in the future. Moving on to Career Mode. Nothing fancy in the way of story like in Guitar Hero 3, where it actually gives you a solid story, but you do get a few options. The character selection has 8 characters, which all seem to have their own style about them. You have a wide variety of guitars to choose from, and even new skins for the guitars. In the shop, you have a chance to buy a number of things: new guitars and guitar skins, new songs, new characters, and videos. The videos is interesting as it will give you a behind the look of the making of Guitar Hero. I really like this option, and I feel like every game should implement this. I mean, who doesn't want to see a behind the scenes of the Halo franchise? The amount of songs you can buy from the shop is 17, which is quite a large number, and they're not really that hard to get, considering how cheap they all are. But that's not a bad thing. I want all the songs from the get-go. I don't want to spend time unlocking songs I want to play, so I think it's good that it requires minimal effort to unlock them. Before I wrap up this review, I just have one last thing to mention. Harmonix, the creators of this wonderful game, have their own band, known as Monkey Steals the Peach, and they made their own song exclusive to this game. It's called Guitar Hero. I think it's amazing that they made their own song just for the game. I wish they had done this in the future games also, but sadly, they never did. With a great number of songs, funny tutorials, solid gameplay and multiplayer mode this game has to offer, I feel I can call this game a true classic. With the game coming up to its 10-year anniversary, it still holds as a strong game. Although I only recently got Guitar Hero, I have played every other console Guitar Hero game in existence, and I have to say, this one is definitely in my top 5. I think it's time to see what number this game gets on the badass meter. There you have it guys, a solid 80 out of 100. This game is worth the play if you enjoy music, and its replayability is amazing. I sometimes find myself staying up hours after dark jamming away to some Guitar Hero. Oh, and I can't count this towards the rating, but this game cost me 75 pence, which is cheaper than a bag of jelly babies. For more Halo Machinimas and other assortments of gameplay content, give that subscribe button a smack on the bottom. Take care guys, and I'll see you later. So tell me viewers, did you enjoy this game review, and would you like me to do more in the future? Post your responses down below, and feel free to check out the videos to the right side of the screen.